Welcome everyone! Today we're continuing on with our Knight Rider filming location series here on the Knight Rider Historians YouTube channel. And next up is episode 2, Deadly Maneuvers. What's your favorite scene in this episode? For me, it's gotta be when Kit shoots a fire arch out of his tailpipe. So cool. And we never see it again. Let me know your favorite scene in the comments below. Also, if you haven't yet, please give us a Robin Lad-sized thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. 100,000 subscribers is getting closer every day. Alright, time to dig into the various filming locations we see in this episode. Okay, first up, the opening scenes where we see Colonel Ladd, kind of checking things out in the middle of the night, and he goes into this Bay 1 door and finds those tactical nuclear missiles and all that stuff. This whole scene you see here with all of these shots at night take place at the Fort MacArthur Upper Reservation in San Pedro, California. So this complex still exists today, but it's a bit run down. Let's take a look at it here. As you can see, it's completely covered in graffiti here. So if we go back to our screenshots, this door right here is over here, right in this area. And later on in the episode, you see Kit coming through this tunnel right here and coming around and pinning a guy against the wall. This, you can see here, is the tunnel, and this is how you get into this area. In fact, we see this filming location again in Knight Rider. We'll see it in Season 3 in Night of the Chameleon. You know, the scene where the chameleon throws a grenade and Kit comes to the rescue, opens his trunk, and Michael throws a grenade in. Kit is driving down through this area right here. So let's turn a little bit. Yeah, you get to see Kit driving, you know, in this area here, and then Michael throws the grenade. This is also the location for you A-Team fans in Season 5, once the A-Team is finally captured and they're sent to a military, prison compound, and then they escape. That was this location as well. And in fact, in Night of the Chameleon, after that grenade thing, the grenade incident, and then Michael and Tony get in Kit, you see Kit come through this tunnel, and he curves around here and speeds up this road. So multiple episode location right here. All right, here's our first unknown location of this video and of this episode, and this one's probably gonna be really difficult for any of you guys out there to find, but I'll throw it out there anyways. This scene where Colonel Ladd's Jeep goes off the cliff, or it supposedly goes off the cliff. Clearly there's a road here. Clearly it's on the side of a mountain. This is about as good of a view as we get. Hey, if you know where this is, let us know in the comments below. Okay, next up is this sequence where we see Michael playing a video game in Kit. Robin has her car broke down, and Michael stops to help her. We see Michael pulling over. He gets out of Kit, as you can see here, walks over, and then we see him talking to Robin Ladd. If you notice in the background, there's a truck weigh station right here, and this is one of the things that really gives away this location. So let's go over. This is the old road in Castaic, California. Not there. There we go. So that weigh station is still right here, and this is the road right here. So let's come on in and drop a pin here, if it's going to let me. There we go. And if we look over here, and zoom in, there's that way station right there. So this road has changed a little bit since, the Night Rider days. In fact, if you look here, you can see how Robin is kind of pulled off. There's some kind of a pull off here. The road is out here, and then this is a pull off here, right? So if we go over to the street view, we don't see that. We see the 2-lane roads, and then just this big open area, and then the truck scales over there. But if we take a look at this aerial view of this location, you can see, just kind of barely see that pull off right here. And in fact, if we go back in time, let's go back to 1994, and you can really see how there was a pull off there. So this is the location right about here where Robin Ladd's car was, and you can see there's the scales right there. This location was used, this road was used in a ton of different Night Rider episodes. Ones that come to mind, Mouth of the Snake. There's a scene where one of the semi-trucks bypasses the truck scales. That's these truck scales. The scene where Carr is trailing the semi right before he turbo boosts into the back of it was on the old road, and I could go on and on. So this was a very, very heavily used road in Night Rider. All right, so technically this next scene wasn't filmed for Deadly Maneuvers. This is actually footage that was filmed for the episode A Plush Ride. But again, we're watching these episodes in the order they aired, not the order that they were produced. So when we get to A Plush Ride, you're going to see the same scene again. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and cover it. This location, notice how there's a curve here. Notice the white fence. Notice the tall trees. This is right around 26696 Mulholland Highway in Calabasas, California. We go over there today, and pretty much the same. You can see the road curving over. There's the white fence. These are the tall trees. This is pretty much exactly where KITT did his 180. Okay, next up, Michael and KITT and Robin drop off Robin's car, and it was implied that KITT actually towed Robin's car here. But anyways, so this scene, if you notice, we've got a road here. We've got a recessed door here, kind of some Spanish architecture. Go to the next scene. There you can see, it's a double story here, single story here, and there's an opening right here at the corner, and then there's a right turn here. There's actually a sign here that says 5th Street, and I think that says Newhall Avenue. It's hard to see. But this location, this building is still there today. So if we go over, it's at, right here, 22510 5th Street. So this is aerial shot right here. And you can see, so Michael and KITT are parked right here, and then they pull out and they turn right here and then turn right here. So the question is this roundabout new? Which it probably is, but let's see if we can rewind time back into the 90s. Is that going to show us anything? Nah, it still kind of highlights the roads there. Let's go up a little. I think that roundabout's probably been there for a while. But if you look right here, you can see that's the door. Let me go back to my screenshot here. This door here is this door here, and you can see there's another door here which lines up with this right here. I think you can even see a tree in the corner. I don't know if that's this tree or not. Probably not. That looks like a pretty young tree. But KITT pulled out here and then would have turned right here. So this is all different right here. This has all been redeveloped, but this is the same building. See, there's the double story. There's the single story with the same kind of Spanish tile roof. And there's that same opening that we see right here. And in fact, if you look at the second floor, you see how the top floor kind of juts out, and then there's these little accent pieces, I guess you could say. There they are right there. So this is same location, same building, the Roger Dunn Golf Shop, Santa Clarita, California. Okay, next up, the Engelhart Weapons Center. So we see KITT pulling down here. He pulls into the Weapons Center and heads off camera. This is the College of Canyons in Valencia, California. One of Night Rider's most reused filming locations. besides Deadly Maneuver. We see it again in The Wrong Crowd, in Night Strike, in Knights of the Fast Lane. Just keeps reappearing, which is really neat. Very popular filming location. Junkyard Dog, another very popular one. So if we go back here, so Kit is driving down right around 26455 Rockwell Canyon Road and pulling into College of the Canyon. So if we go over here, that's this entrance right here. And you see this College of the Canyon sign right here. That's this. They just covered it up. And you only get kind of a blur shot of it. But if you look right here, you can see the original sign under here, and they just put this other sign on top of that College of the Canyon sign, which is really neat. So once Kit pulls in, you see you can turn left into one parking lot down here and another parking lot up here. So if we go in here, which I think Street View will let me do. Yeah, you go in here, there's that lower parking lot, and there's that upper parking lot right there. And then we get all these great shots, these establishing shots of the Weapons Center, again, in reality, the college. And the neat thing about this is Google Street View allows you to go on the sidewalks here. So here's that main building, which is the Central Commons. I had the opportunity to go here back in 2012 with a group of us fans, which was really, really kind of neat and special to be able to go through here and see these places. So let's see if we can find a couple other shots from this location to match up. All right, so like this scene. So Michael's just coming out of the funeral. He's coming out of this side door. You can see the orange wall. He kind of rests on this corner and loosens his tie. If we look here, there's that location, there's that door, and yes, that wall is still that same 1982 orange, which is really cool. And in fact, here's a photo I took in 2012 when I was there. Tell me that doesn't look like exactly the same as it did back then. I mean, I guess they painted this door. It was tan in 2012, and it was red in 1982. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty much identical. And then you see Michael and Robin walking along the sidewalk, and then they pass Sanderson and some other officers here in the corner, and that's all right here. So they walk down this path right here, and they're walking down this path, and then those officers were standing right here, and in the background is this corner right here. It's much more overgrown with trees, but pretty much as it was in 82, which is so cool. All right, here's our other mystery location for this episode, and this could correspond with the scene earlier where Colonel Ladd's Jeep goes off the cliff, but we see this scene where Michael's trying to recreate the accident. We see Robin Ladd with a tall hill in the background, looks like maybe a water tower back here, and then we see this scene of Michael getting out of Kit. So again, don't know where this is. If you know, let us know in the comments below. All right, so then we see Kit here. This is back at College of the Canyons. We see this building in the background. And again, another part of the campus, Towsley Hall, right here. So Kit was parked right about here. There's that building. And just to give you a perspective, if you were to go around the side of this building right here, this is where I think it's the tech, like auto body shop, welding, and other stuff. That's where they teach it. But this is the garages right here. We see these garages in a number of episodes. This is where Kit was reconstructed in Junkyard Dog. The climax of Night Strike, when Kit busts through the gate, was all up in this episode. Kit was being held here when he was shut down in Knights of the Fast Lane. We see Michael, once he reactivates him, he gets Kit and comes barreling down this hill right here. So lots of Knight Rider history here. And then, of course, Michael meeting Sanj. This is that exact same location. There's that building in the background. This building we were just talking about. So Sanj was parked like right over here in this area. All right, and here's another location we would love to find. And you're never going to guess it, but literally this second, while I was about to say, we need your help finding this, I just figured out where it is. You see this building in the background? this is the same building where Michael and Robin dropped off Robin's car earlier in the episode. Look, there's that single story with the red tile roof. There's that arch window. And look at these. I don't know if those are sconces or just decor. There's one here and one here. Let's go back. There it is. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that other. Let me move. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. There's those two sconces. So this diner is no longer there, but it used to be right here. How cool is that? I mean, I don't think it's this building. This building's probably too far away. Let's see here. No, it wouldn't be that building, but it would have been parked, or that it would have been like right here, right where this roundabout is today. Yeah, it was right across the street. So it would have been like right here. So that building is unfortunately gone, but it was right there in on 5th Street, Santa Clarita, California. How about that? And actually, let's go back and revisit Street View. This is from 2002, actually. Let's see. Let's go a little further in time and see when, because you can see here the roundabout. This is the building right here where Kit dropped off Robin's car. So you can see there was no roundabout. He came out here, stopped, and made a right turn onto this road. But look, that building, if that's the same diner building, or maybe the diner building was gone even before that, they built something else here that's now gone. But there was a building right there on that corner. So when did it go away? 2009, it was gone. 2008, you can see the building was gone, but the roundabout wasn't in there. Let's go back to 2007. Come on. Is it going to let me do 2000? So sometime between 2006 and 2008, this building left. This almost doesn't look like the same building as this one. This looks like a diner that was probably torn down, something else built there. Then this was torn down. Then they put a roundabout in. So there you go. And not to beleaguer the point, but you do see the camera pan as they're walking out, and you see this brick or this concrete block building in the background. I'm pretty sure that is this wall of this Engine Dynamics building, which is still there. Okay, moving on. All right, and here is our next unknown location. This scene where Kit is ambushed. He's coming around a bend, and the truck's following him. Again, not much to go by because it's so dark. If you know where this is, by any chance, let us know. Okay, this might be one of my favorite locations, and I hope to visit here one day. And again, it was not filmed for this episode either. This was actually filmed for Inside Out, which was the 2nd episode produced, but the 9th episode to air. But it was footage that they threw in here anyway, so we'll include it. The semi-rendezvous scene, as I like to call it. So we see Kit, he comes down this road, turns left, and then does a 180 and goes into the back of the semi. So this location, Mulholland Highway and Stokes Canyon Road in Calabasas, California. This is very close to that 180 filming location I showed you earlier in this video. So we see, we'll back it up a little bit. So we've got, let me see So Michael and Kit drive down this road. And then they will come a little further. And then the semi was parked right here on this pull-off. All right. So then they turn down this road like so. Does a 180 and pulls in to the semi. So if we go over here, see this giant tree right here? There it is. Still there today. So it'd be really cool to go back and see this location today. Stokes Canyon Road, right around 2124 Stokes Canyon Road, Calabasas, California. All right, so next is this munitions test range scene where Kit comes through and he crashes and busts through the sign. All right, so this scene and really all of these scenes that we're about to show you take place out in the Newhall Film Ranch area, Indian Dunes, that whole area out in the Santa Clarita area. Again, we mentioned this back in the pilot. They filmed so many episodes out here. Pretty much anytime you see KITT out in the middle of nowhere, it's out here at this film ranch. So that's where this scene is. As far as I can tell, there's no street view out here, but it was like, in this general area right here. And then pretty much all these scenes with the climax out here, and here, all this test range is all in that same general area. This was in a location known as Grapevine Mesa, as I understand it, which was right about here. So I think that munitions sign was right about here. This is where a lot of that action took place, right in this big open field there. All right, and the final scene of the episode takes place back at College of the Canyons. We see this scene where KITT is parked here with this building in the background. Turns out this is actually a sidewalk that KITT is on, not a parking lot. But if we look at it today, it's right about here. So actually, KITT's parked further down this road, but Street View won't let me go any further back. So he's parked like right about back there. And you can see this parking lot here. There's some grass and a little bench. And this is that bench right here that we see right here. So that kind of gives you an idea. So KITT's front tires were like right here. So he was parked right in this area. But again, it pretty much looks all the same as it did back then. And with that, we have concluded Deadly Maneuvers, the filming locations. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe you learned some new locations that you didn't know previously. I know I certainly did as we were going along. But, we're going to continue with the series. This is a fun series to do for sure. And if any of you guys ever go out to any of these filming locations and snap some pictures or take some video, we would love to see it. You can email us at nightriderhistorians@gmail.com. All right, so next up in our filming location series, we've got Good Day at White Rock. So a lot of good locations there. Hope you'll join us. As always, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.